I've been doxxed and the company has been canceled. First off, I want to quote the cliche that actions speak louder than words. Some things are cliche because they're true. This just might be one of them. I made a video instead of a post on Facebook or whatever, so you can. I want you to see my face. I want you to see me looking at you through the camera or whatever. To show I'm not afraid of these stupid accusations. I've been dealing with this all my life. I've been publishing crazy wild books for a decade. I'm not backing it up anytime soon, obviously. So what's essentially happened here is a year ago I had a lot of personal issues going on. I'm not even gonna get into it. It doesn't matter. I just had stuff with my family. I had stuff with my personal relations, money issues, everything. And I have OCD. And I have anxiety. And I was self-medicating by drinking basically to the point where I was blacking out. I'm gonna get, say, 5 to 7 days a week. So I wasn't in my right mindset, first of all, and I understand people don't have that context. I understand that not everyone in my life today was in my life a year ago. That I'm not going to hold people accountable for what they don't know, of course. That's not fair to anyone. So during that time, I was given this advice, actually by a dude I live with now. He said, when you get dumped, one of the best things you can do is get on a dating site and don't like talk to anybody or go on dates unless you want to. I guess you could, but just to know there's other people out there in the world. And one of them was OkCupid, and they're really fun because they have quizzes, and it's really fun just to like drink and just answer questions like crazy. Really addicting. So it's like a BuzzFeed quiz or something. And I guess that my answers to some of the questions offended people. So now going back to action speak louder than words. Tell me this is what good people do. Tell me this is the more respectable thing to do with integrity. So they took things I put on a dating site. Now that's not they didn't find my IP address and hack into my computer and take private pictures of me naked or something. But there's still a level of trust on there. There's still vulnerability on one of those profiles. It's maybe a little more sensitive than Facebook, I would say. I would certainly never show somebody someone else's dating profile or mock them or use that against them. I think that's not a very tasteful thing to do. So they took this information and they passed it around to people in the Pittsburgh area community, uh, to hurt me, to hurt my company, to slander me. And this gets brought up to Maureen, which is very unfair to her. She has done nothing. She doesn't need dragged into this. If you're going to approach this subject, I'd prefer you approach it to me like a man or a woman with integrity. But she gets dragged into it, and essentially she's being pressured, to disavow me or whatever, the company. And she went to me, of course, because it's preposterous, obviously. And what we're brought with now is a conundrum of how do we approach it? What is the damage control? And you're not looking at it from the internal perspective, the behind the scenes of Long Shot Books, of course. You want to know what I'm going to say. And the simple thing is that we've always been about transparency. We've always been about being honest and trying to be a very ethical company. We've talked about it at great length, how to be an honest, decent company, because when you're a publishing house in your mind, there's a company, there's always money involved. There's always this level of distrust, and that's natural. I'm the same way. So we want artists to be comfortable with us. We want them to be able to trust us, and we want to give them as much freedom, as much liberties as they possibly can, while also putting our full faith in them. We want to be very collaborative, and you got to use the fall system, the buddy system, where you fall and you catch each other, something like that. And I'm sorry, I'm really getting over being sick, and I'm also really tired, so I'm trying to piece this together. So I thought the best thing is let's just do a video, and I'll just address everything. The first thing I want to address is that Long Shot Books is an apolitical company. We always have been. If you've ever interacted with us and that offends you, you should have done your own research. We never took a stance on anything. We never will. I would sooner shut the company down than take a hard stance. We had a discussion once, and we're not even totally solid on this. We never came to a conclusion about if Charles Manson sent a book in the mail, would we publish it in the name of literature? And, if we were sent a book of Christian literature as brilliant, we would publish it. If we were sent a book of Buddhist literature, we would publish it. If we were sent an LGBT thing, if we were sent a right-wing thing, a left-wing thing, whatever, we would publish it if it was good, even if we disagree with it, because we want to present those ideas. We want to work with people with different viewpoints than our own. Maureen and I don't even see eye to eye on everything. And more importantly, it doesn't matter what we think or even who we are with the company. That's really far removed in a lot of ways, which might seem counterintuitive. to which I would direct you to our About Me page on our website. It's a total farce. If you look at the bios of us, it's fiction. I lie and say I dropped out of college. That's not Todd Daniel Crawford. That's Todd Crawford. On our Twitter, I joke about firing an intern and how the company's better off without him. And it was a joke. I made a typo in a post or something that was really embarrassing, so I blame it on a fictional person. Um, Even though we run the company is not us. We understand it's bigger than us. And we don't want it to be tainted by our own ideology or whatever, if that makes sense. Um, we just want to publish good books. I'll just leave it at that. I mean, that's our goal. That's our nefarious plan here. So, with that said, if you disagree with me or my ideas or anything, we try to keep it more based on literature. We don't want to get political with a lot of stuff, unless it's like, if it's great literature that is political, that's awesome. Send us a fucking submission. And we'll publish it about how much I suck or whatever. Really do a thoughtful, well-written thing, and we're into that. We like that challenge. So a big part of it, though, is, particularly with some of the things that you're told about, like, it's not a good look. It's not compatible with the community. This is like a Mulholland Drive or something. It's like a cult, so it sounds, where I don't fit their ethos, so I must be blackballed. And I don't play those games. I really have no interest in it. And I wasn't even sure how to approach this. And I think the ultimate thing to do is, if somebody's trying to shame you out of your beliefs, if somebody's trying to pressure you into just agreeing with them, and these people don't care about me, they're already trying to hurt me. What am I going to do? I'm going to win your favor? No. It's too late. You've drawn first blood, and I'm not trying to start arguments. I'm not trying to make enemies. Listen, if you heard something bad about me, and you're mistaken or you overreacted, that stuff happens. I've done it 1,000 times every single day. I've also done really crappy things every single day. Nobody doesn't have a right to hate me. I'll put it that way. I've done some really bad stuff, but this just isn't one of them. And so the two questions that I answered that were so horrible, they're so evil, were, and I'm prefacing this once again to be very clear, this isn't a long shot books thing. My views don't reflect long shot books. And I don't even know if they reflect mine. My opinion changes on so much. I don't have hardline opinions. But the one was, do you support the defunding of Planned Parenthood? And I said yes. And the reason I said yes is because defunding doesn't mean ban abortion. Defunding doesn't mean to shut the company down. To my understanding, I could be wrong. I'm not the most intelligent. It means takes tax dollars out of it. On one hand, I'm okay with tax dollars going to mammograms. I'm okay with it going towards women's health and that kind of stuff. I don't know the economics of it. I don't know. But ethically, that seems reasonable to me. I'm cool with that. Planned Parenthood, I've heard of stuff with lobbying and paying people off in ways that I think is just kind of suspicious. So, and in the same way that the NRA I've heard stuff about, which I'm also, if there's tax dollars going to that, I'm also in favor of defunding. So it's really a misleading question answer. It really isn't even a political thing to me. It's just kind of like, 50% of women and probably more percent of men disagree with abortion. Last statistics I've seen. Update me if I'm wrong. That just makes sense. Why put everybody's tax dollars towards something that like half the population disagrees with? I'm cool with them being open. I'm not the guy to talk to about laws. I cannot. I don't know how to work a toaster. I'm not going to be able to tell you at what point life begins. I don't want to judge people. I don't have anything against people who've had abortions. I know people who have. I've dated people. I've given so much money to Planned Parenthood. I paid for so many abortions that they owe me money at this point, really. Anyhow, the next one was, do you support the Muslim ban? Now, there's two things with the Muslim ban, and I hate doing this. This just sucks getting political. It's not even fun conversation. I like making silly posts. I like saying ridiculous things. Very colorful conversation. My profile picture on Facebook is me being punched. Like, it's like this. Because the joke is that I'm saying something I deserve to get punched to say. I don't have fun with these checkbox. Do you believe this? Do you agree with me on this? You better. It's not a way to think. It's not how I think about things. My stance on things is very fluid in a lot of ways. I'm learning. I'm not somebody to study my opinion. Don't listen to my opinion on things. I would much rather listen to other people and hear theirs. Anyhow, so That one, I think it's a disingenuous question. Same with the Planned Parenthood thing. I think, do you think abortion should be outlawed is a much more clear question. I think the Muslim ban thing's also a very unclear question because there's two Muslim bans. First, you have the media's perspective, which means that every Muslim can enter America, which to my understanding does not exist. That is propaganda. To my understanding, that never happened. And so, therefore, that is not my definition of what the Muslim ban was. I don't even like that term, but anyhow. So the second one was the reality as I know it, which is that the Obama administration said, hey, these countries, there's whatever terrorist groups or something, we should probably hold off on having immigrants come in from these until we properly vet them. We should hold off. And I'll preface this once again by stating the obvious. I'm not anti-abortion. I want refugees in America. I want people to have safe asylum. It's sad seeing kids in detainment center. You know this. I'm obviously not, you know, excited by those things. I always say, like, if there's one person who's denied asylum in America and they die or they have a bad life because of it, then that's a tragedy. That's a sad thing. I want everybody to be happy and have a good life, and I wish that all that stuff didn't exist in terms of, like, murder and, scary stuff. Obviously. I'm at the point now I have to say, I don't believe in murder, guys. I think murder's wrong. But anyhow, so the Obama administration says these countries we should probably hold off on for a bit, and then the Trump administration comes in, and it's put into effect. I don't know if it was already in effect, and then like it actually happened once Trump was in. It was almost immediately after, and they're like, okay, we'll hold off on these countries. And that sucks for the people there that can't get asylum or whatever. I'm not saying that's a great thing, but I understand wanting to play it safe. I understand the need to vet people to let them in the country. I'm pro-immigration. I think open borders is suicide for a country. I think that's common sense, quite frankly. So that's pretty reasonable. Even if I was 100% hardline on those things, even if I wasn't out of my mind drunk, out of my mind crazy because of life just spinning me that way, that's really not that evil. That's not exactly Richard Spencer. And it's also, I don't want to say slanderous, I keep using that term. It's just very obvious to anybody that knows me, who, I'm not going to play the, oh, my friends or people I work with, but look at the people I work with, look at the people I love. You could say, oh, well, so you listen to rap, so it means you're not racist. Well, my whole life is based on, I care more about art than my own health. And my favorite author is Clive Barker, a gay guy who's married to a black dude. I think the greatest artist right now is Kanye West. My other favorite songwriter is a bisexual Jew who wears lipstick. I mean, this isn't exactly the kind of exceptions Hitler would be making now, is it? And larger than that, I try to treat everybody equal. I try not to judge people. I try not to think the worst in people, which is very difficult. It's easy to laugh. It's easy to hate. It takes strength to be gentle and kind. And I think that's what these people are doing. I think that they're taking the easy route. I think that what they're doing is very cowardly. I think it's very cowardly. I think it's not very honest. Because if you saw something concerning like that, and I know at least two of these people, I'm guessing. I know one for sure. I'm 90% certain I know who the other one is who started the snowball effect here. They're people I've talked to before. They're people that I've done nice things for. They're people that know me to some level, on a very, very, very basic level. It's a little more than hey when you see each other. And if somebody had done something that worried me in that way, I would talk to them. I would say, hey, what's going on? I saw this. This concerns me. If you do think this, I would like to talk to you about it because I think that's wrong, and I think that, you're a better person than this or whatever. I want to help you become a better person. In which case, talk to me, message me. If you think that you're better than me, if you think that your ideas are better than me, then help me. I'm willing to learn. I want to have this conversation. I'm not a genius. I don't know anything, let alone everything. Like I said, the whole the Muslim man thing, the was it Planned Parenthood thing. I don't really have hard opinions on them. Tonight when I wake up, I might be feeling differently. With that said, even if I did, that doesn't give you a right to treat me like I'm not human. That doesn't give you a right to go behind closed doors and try to hurt my company, or worse, try to hurt Maureen, try to pressure Maureen almost out of her company or something. That's not right. That's not what decent people do. That's not what people with good intentions do. You don't run a charity in the back alley at midnight. Quite frankly, if these people want to operate behind closed doors, I don't play that game. Let's take it to the Coliseum. Let's be public. And I don't want to make enemies. I don't want to be FU or anything. But I want to clear the air. I want to be transparent because I think that there's one or two people with very bad intentions. And I also think that with anything, the game telephone, there's people who heard something that sounded scary and got kind of sketched out. And I think that's natural. If I heard something about, I don't know, somebody I live with, I was like, yeah, that guy. I don't know, if I heard something like, yeah, your one roommate, I don't know, he beat a woman. Something like really horrible. Even though I know them and I trust them to be good, and I don't think any of them ever would or could, my roommate's get beaten up by a woman. I could believe that. But, I wouldn't. I, I understand hearing something scary or disheartening or frightening about somebody you don't know that well and thinking the worst. It's natural. I also don't understand going out of your way to gossip and hurt them. I mean, maybe I'm a little more mature than these people. I'm 25. I don't got time to play these games. I don't have any interest in playing these games. We started this publishing house to publish good books and to help independent young authors. Not just young authors, but particularly young authors we like doing. We didn't start this company to have a turf war or something. We didn't start to gossip about people. We didn't start it to slander people. With that said, I mean, if you're coming at us, we're going to defend ourselves. And we're going to defend ourselves through our actions by showing, hey, we're trying. I'm not going to say we're good people. We're trying our best to be good people. And we're willing to learn, and we're willing to accept that we have made mistakes in the past. I'm not even saying what I did was a mistake. I don't regret it. I'm more ashamed of my bloated face right now than I am of checking the wrong boxes on an online quiz I took drunken a year ago. With that said, I mean, that's it. I mean, we try to be real. We try to keep it real. And we don't got time for fake people. And, if you heard anything or saw anything, I'll gladly talk to you about it. If you're offended by this video, I'll gladly talk to you about it. It doesn't reflect Marine. It doesn't reflect Longshot Books. Somebody took my private life and tried to use it to end my professional life as a writer and also to harm my company. Our company, I should say, but Marine's not in the room. I don't take that lightly. That's really all I have to say. So I'm sorry to Marine for getting dragged into this unnecessarily due to other people's cowardice. I'm sorry to people who might have heard something about Longshot Books or felt hurt by whatever. And that's it, really. I think it's unfair that immature people have done this. And I'm not going to say I'm a victim because I'm allowing myself to be a victim. And that's it. I'm just not going to let that happen to my company. I'm not going to let that happen to me. I wouldn't let that happen to anybody else. So that's it. You're just not going to get away with it. You lied. You hid behind closed doors. I'm taking you to the Coliseum.